This video is of our, Maya and Roger and Maya's sister Kirsty, Best of Spain Intrepid Travel trip in September 2022. We arrived in Madrid a day early and took a taxi into our hotel to avoid public transport pickpockets. With a €30 fixed fee, it was a good option, as we later found out one of our travel group had their wallet stolen on the train in from the airport. Some local tapas and a drink close by for dinner. We had the next day to explore Madrid, so after breakfast in the hotel we set off to a local DHL agent to send home a box of clothes we had taken for an earlier family wedding in Italy. Then into the metro to the Museo Reina Sofia. With Picasso prominent among the famous art displayed. Guernica, one of his best-known works, regarded by many art critics as the most moving and powerful anti-war painting in history. Then it was time to find lunch, which wasn't difficult, a nice seat beside a piazza to enjoy croquettes and a paella. We then made our way to Plaza Mayor. Then it was back to the hotel to meet our group for the start of our Intrepid tour. We had 9 in our party, 3 Kiwis, 4 Aussies, an American, plus our Basque leader Anda. In the morning, we tried some local breakfast with a marathon passing by, before setting off to get the metro to the bus station for our 5-hour trip to Granada. Our orientation walk took us up to a piazza, looking out to the Alhambra Palace. Great views of Granada and the palace in the setting sun. We were looking forward to visiting it in the morning. In the evening, Anda arranged for a dinner in a university restaurant opposite Alhambra for some more sumptuous views. After dinner, we meandered back through the streets, soaking up the atmosphere, and stopping for a gelato, of course. In the morning, it was taxis to the train station. A bit of a delay occurred in the timetable, so we had a few more hours to look around Granada before catching our train to Ronda. I used the time to visit the Basilica de San Juan de Dios, a Baroque church with some of the remains of St. John of God, housed in a gold surround.
Esta noche fue una distracción, porque pienso solamente en tú y yo. Tengo que decirte pa' que se acabe el silencio, lo que siento.
Puente Nuevo Bridge from 1793 spans the 120-metre deep chasm that divides the city of Ronda. We went for a 7-kilometre walk below the bridge, exploring the beautiful countryside.
Platicando hasta la mañana, toda la semana en mi cama, que nunca nos despierten.
You eat,
Try
like, clearly it's not right, but
It'll only be bitter. Well,
I'll give you some of my water. Yeah, not for me.
Que se acabe el silencio, lo que siento sobre mí.
We completed our circuit back up to the top, passing the oldest bullfighting ring in Spain. After a short rest, we caught a local bus to the village of Setenil de las Bodegas. With houses being built into the rock walls of the gorge itself. A nice quiet amble, and of course, a drink at the end waiting for the bus back. A one-week festival was underway in Tarifa Today we're celebrating horse riders. Tarifa is the gateway across the Strait of Gibraltar to Morocco and sits between the Mediterranean and Atlantic. In the late afternoon we made our way to the fairground to catch up with the magnificent horse displays. A wonderful atmosphere with colourful costumes and very happy people celebrating. Katie even got a ride with a handsome horseman. The next day we had choices of a day trip to Gibraltar, Tangier, Morocco, or a slow day in Tarifa. We chose Tangier as we hadn't visited in our previous trip to Morocco. Great fun exploring the souk and of course a tagine for lunch. Day exploring bright and exuberant Seville. The cathedral is one of the largest in the world, and we climbed the tower ramps for the view. The Plaza de España was created in 1929 to symbolise peace with the former colonies. Our evening meal was at 10:30 p.m. in 30 degrees. I think we're getting used to this. The next day was slower for me. A palace, a nice lunch, and then flamenco.
bit like that.
Yeah.
But now you guys like.
It's raining in Cordoba. The rain didn't last, so we were off exploring Roman remains. Cordoba has 4 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The Mosque of Cordoba, dating from 784, was the city's first UNESCO site and is the largest mosque in the world. Great night views of Cordoba from across the river. Then off again by train to Valencia and a hotel in the old quarter of the city. Our orientation walk took us to the Holy Grail. Maybe. It says there's no evidence it's not the Holy Grail, so it might well be. The next morning we shopped at the city market for lunch for our bike ride around the city. We were told our spend budget after we bought our food. Oops. Still, plenty to eat.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Then we were off on our rental bikes. Picnic time in Valencia. I got a tummy bug later in the day, so was not in great trim for the trip to Barcelona, but made it okay to retire to my room. The rest of the group visited La Familia Sagrada, which I got to do a few days later. Wow, it is mesmerising how a human mind can imagine such a structure, but also then build it. Alas, our trip was over. We had covered a lot of ground and packed in a whole lot. Thank you to our leader Under for his deep historical knowledge and love of Spain, and his care and attention when I was not well for a few days. Wonderful to now have a feeling for Spain. Wonderful tapas, late evening meals in the warmth, the colours and the friendly people. Hopefully we get to return soon.